G'day YouTube, welcome to GJBricks. This is my modified 60197 train. Now I've visited this train a few times. There's my video where I added the Jacob's bogies to it, which you can see in this video in the top left corner here. I still have those in place, I still use them, I love them. I think they add so much to this train. I have built a double-decker carriage, which is at the back there. You can see a video for that one's linked in the corner now, but I didn't stop there. I actually acquired the Horizon Express a while back, and one of the things that's different about that being more of a creator train and these city trains is city trains are this long normally. So what I decided to do was extend every single carriage to be the same length as the Horizon Express. So obviously the engines have this nose piece on, much like the Horizon Express has a nose on it as well, so that everything is now longer. And I took the opportunity while I was doing that to actually go through and modify every single carriage, rebuild the interior. I've made some changes to the exterior, and I think the train is much more worthy of being put next to the Horizon Express now. So I'm going to start off with the engine. As you can see, it is longer, that's a given, but one of the changes I made here was putting these handles in, and I thought I could have done it the way that if you look at the Lego rumours, the new cargo train has handles on, but all they've done is stuck them on the outside. What I've done here is actually indent them slightly, so they're sitting on modified 1x2 single stud tiles here, so they're half a stud in, so that they don't stick out too far, as you can see. I personally think that looks much nicer and much more realistic than having it just stuck on the side. It also means that I've stuck to a 7 wide rather than going sort of down the path of that, which would have been closer to an 8 wide. Now you look at the roof, you'll also notice the whole thing is filled in with tiles, and that goes the entire length of the train, because much as I like seeing studs, they don't need to be there all the time, and I think this adds much better look to it, especially on the front here. It looks much sleeker, I think, with that, with those tiles there controlling the making it just look like it is meant to go fast. Got 2 pickups here as well now. Again, just felt more balanced with the extra length, and just a radiator cover there or a fan cover there because the motor's under there obviously, so it's going to get hot. Otherwise, not any other changes to talk of on this particular carriage other than it's longer and it's got those handles in. I will say this bit actually took longer than I thought, and I've got another train I'm going to show you in soon, which is where I've done like a diesel prototype of this, which I'm pretty proud of, and it's much more solid than you realize in here the way this works. So I'm happy to show people how to do that trick if they want to. Also note, I used a white and a grey clip so it matched in with the line as well. Just wanted to make sure it was completely seamless beginning to end. I did think about making some more changes to this, perhaps some detailing here, but to be perfectly honest, I was actually pretty happy with how this looks after all of that. I think it actually works really well, having just that finishes it off, I think, on the top, and just having these handles here makes it a lot more interesting. Starting with the passenger car from the front here, I'll start with what I've done on the exterior. So as I said, tiles the whole way along. Just, it looks so much more finished than the ones without the tiles on. I've also added door handles. Now these doors don't open, but in doing the way I've done it, so you can see they're 3 long bricks, plates, and that it makes it look like it's a fully working door. See if I can bring that in close enough that you can see it with some detail. So it looks like it's a fully opening door, but it's not. It's just got the handle there, and I think that is enough to do the trick of making it add that extra bit of detail without having to go to all the effort of putting all of the bricks in that are required to make it open. I think that works well. Now there's nothing else on the exterior to talk of that you'll see other than on this side the windows are slightly different at this end, and you'll see why that is in a minute. Now I did resist the urge to make the side come off. I thought about it and I thought I haven't got the bricks to do it at the moment, so I decided not to. If you look at something like my Hogwarts Express, which is linked in the corner here, that does actually open. Now this is the interior as is. Let's just make sure that's well lit for you. There we go. It's a nice glare coming off the tiles there. So what we have is 4 seats in there. We've got a baggage area and we've got a toilet. I'm going to open it all up, but I wanted to show you a top-down view of that first so you get an idea of how it works. Now let's just pull off the side, which is dead easy to do because they're all one piece. So you take off the 2 end tiles like that, and then this side panel should just come off like that. And there we have the interior of the passenger car. Here's the GJBricks minifigure sitting there. Here's one of the passengers that come with this train. Now I've modified this table so that it actually sits in the middle of, on a single post like that. The one that actually comes with it, it sits on a 2x2 brick, and they just look rubbish. So I was trying to think what I can do to make it more interesting, and I thought just doing that was enough. So 2x1 tiles with single studs on them, and then yeah, a table like that. So now the table comes over the minifigure's legs. Let's get it a bit closer. There we go. So it comes over the minifigure's legs like that. I think that works really, really well. I think that looks really interesting, eating a croissant there. Down here, we've got a baggage holding area. Nice. I had a bucket load of these 2x3 high tiles from the number of these sets I bought, and they make absolutely perfect bag holders when you do them like this. So that's what I've done. And then just a little water dispenser here because we don't want the customers going thirsty. Living in Australia, we tend to have a lot of water bubblers around. So yeah, and then down this end, slightly different. Don't have one of these normally. We'll open this up. I haven't quite worked on the mechanism to open this properly, but there's a toilet. Needed a toilet. Minifigure can sit quite happily in there. The only thing is it does block the door, but let's pretend it doesn't. And wanted a picture in there. Thought I'll just use one of these faces from the Super Mario set. Why not? So you get this strange creepy feeling that you're being watched while you're sitting there reading your newspaper or whatever on the train. And that's the interior. I think that works quite well. It makes a good use of the space. We've got proper bag handling. We've got a toilet for a change. We've got 4 seats in there. I think that works well. And down the other end, same thing. So just doesn't give you a huge amount of space because the seats take up a lot of space. But anyway, if you want to make it bigger, you have to do a 7-wide train or an 8-wide train even, and then it will fit. But I'm happy with that. I think that makes good use of the space. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comments if there's anything that could be improved there. Just a little switch on there for opening the toilet. And last, the dining car. Now this has probably had the biggest change of all of them in terms of what the interior looks like. Again, the exterior, not much change, tiles on the top. I just put these pillars in here just to sort of break it up and make it a bit different to the other cars. But otherwise, door handles, all the same. But when we get into the interior, if you're aware, this city set did come with a little kitchen in the dining car, and it was really quite hopeless. It did the job for what Lego was trying to do, but all it was a windscreen at the end here with a person standing behind it. Took up the full width, no space to get past. Wasn't very interesting. So what I tried to do, I've used a lot of the parts that came with this set to do it. We've still got the 2 tables down here, but then the actual kitchen area has been turned on its side here and got a lot more going on in it. So I'll just show you the top-down view there so you get an idea of how I'm using the space there much more efficiently. Again, this is the, oh, not the camera. Again, this is the longer base, has given me a bit more space to do things. But also, I just wanted to revisit it and actually make it work properly. We've still got the same character here. And then I've got 2 characters from the Lego City, or one of the Lego City sets. So we've got a woman carrying a baby and a guy with a guide dog. There we are. So doing the same thing, eating a croissant. We've got that, but here we have the kitchen area where our happy stewardess is serving people hot dogs, cakes. We've got coffee in the background. I'm sure there's a few other treats down here in this area too, and just a little checkout there. Now I will say I did take a little bit of inspiration from how GJBricks did his excellent upgrade to his dining car, where he had this in the middle and he'd done something not similar to this in the shape of it. He did use these 2 bricks here and then he had a cut off there. I just wanted to really use this last bit and use up that space, and this actually was more what I was trying to get to, what I actually wanted to do. And my inspiration for actually doing it with this was, if you've ever been on the Eurostar or anything like that, their kitchens are quite good because they have this sort of open counter area, and then they have an area here which is like the actual kitchen. So I was trying to kind of create that feel there. So there's an extra storage and things going on. I thought that worked quite well in terms of space usage. And then by doing it this way round, she can stand sideways properly. There's still a walkway through. She's got this big bun on her head which takes up a lot of space, but she's standing up straight without any issues there. So pretty happy with with the use of that space. So thank you, Robin, for the inspiration of how this end looks here with the corner. And I've just done it slightly differently to him. You'd have to see his video. I'll link that in the corner as well for you. But I've done it differently with how this is done. I wanted to make sure this counter was all here. This all fits together nicely and makes, again, good use of the space. I could put more on the counter if I wanted to. The only thing I don't like is this corner here. I can't think of a way to fill it in because there's no such thing as a as a 1x8 with a round corner, sadly. So that doesn't work. But that's how that went together. And you just see, putting the side back on there, it works well, I think. Again, good use of the space in my books. There's nothing wasted in there. Could get a few more minifigures in there, and our minifigures can actually get a good range of food in the kitchen on this train, which I think is important. So there we have it. There's the two sort of main cars, the passenger car and the buffet car, with the modifications on the longer base, just to show how much longer. That extra 4 studs really does make a difference. I think it was a worthwhile upgrade. As for these, I've got lots of these now, and I'm probably thinking I'm going to use them for station platforms. I think they're perfect for that. So that is modification 157 of my 60197 train. All right, it's not that many. I'm being silly, but I have been modifying this for quite a while. I've enjoyed working on this train. I've got to say that this is a good city train as a foundation, and I think like making amendments to it. And I think that's what the joy of Lego is taking something like that and then modifying it and modifying it and modifying it. This, I feel, in this new sort of form, is much more worthy of sitting next to this beauty. This is still an amazing train. I think this is more worthy of sitting next to that now. I think there's still a few things I could do. I could add in more here to make it more like this. But I've got to be honest, I'm not going to. I don't think I want to touch this anymore. I think it's there. I think it looks good. I've got the interior, I've got the double-decker carriage. And there's a new city train coming out in a few months as well. The rumour mill is buzzing with that one. Haven't seen what it looks like yet. We can only assume it's not going to have the same nose piece as this, although it looks like the cargo train does have this nose piece, which is interesting. But let's not talk about that here. Let me know in the comments what you think of all these changes I've made to this train. Is it now worthy of sitting next to this on a track? I think it is personally, but you are my audience and you are the ones who decide. I think it's close. Without going down the path of going a full creator build, which I'm not going to do before anybody suggests it, I'm going to take a city train and make it better. That's what I try to do. It's what I set out to do, and make it something that I'm happy with. And I'm happy with this now. I think it looks hot. But let me know in the comments what you think. If you think I got there, is it right now, or should I have gone even further? Anyway, if you're new here, hit subscribe. I post regularly, and give this video a like and share it if you feel like it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again very soon.